Hi, and welcome to Just Bleed Radio. This is our recap show of UFC Vegas Edson Barboza versus Sadiq Yusuff. Joining me is our fearless editor-in-chief, Super Dave Fairtex. Say hi, Dave.
Hi, guys.
Also joining us, newcomers. I'll introduce Mike first. Say hi, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
And then next we have our fearless leader of the Discord, Captain, or as you should know him as, Adriano.
Hey, no one call me that. I'll kill you. But yeah, sure. Fair enough.
Adriano.
Very nice,
you gotta,
very nice.
it's like an Enye. Adriano.
Enye? Adriano.
I prefer V, but it's fine. Call me Cap.
That's-
Call me V. Just don't get envious,
Don't-
guys.
Don't step on it. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes. And then last but not least, our new member, Connor. Introduce yourself, Connor.
Hello.
Very nice. Yes.
Introduce
Today,
Dave?
yourself, Connor. Hello, I am.
Connor.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm
It's
Connor.
fucking Conor
and,
McGregor. All right,
Oh
but-
fuck no, never.
God damn it. Well, we're here today to talk about the past weekend's events and give our opinions on them, as we should, because this is an MMA show and we are very structured here. Thank you, like, and subscribe as always. Enjoy the show. All right, well, as we should, let's start with the main event of the UFC this weekend, from this past weekend, I should say. I'll start with Dave. Your thoughts on the main event?
I thought it was a interesting fight. I was really impressed with Sadiq in round one. I thought he kind of really brought the Edson or the what's his name, Justin Gaethje style. Like his forward pressure was really good, and Edson didn't know what to do. And Edson tried attacking the body a little bit in the first round, but he was getting clipped a lot, and then he almost got finished. Like he got knocked down, and then he got rocked really bad again. And I almost wouldn't have been surprised if it was a 10-7. Upon rewatch, I think 10-8 was the right call. But round one was just ugly, like a beatdown. And then starting from round two on, Sadiq kind of let off the pressure, and I think Edson had the cleaner striking and just kind of stole every round. I think a couple of the rounds were close. I was actually really surprised that every judge gave the last 4 rounds to Edson, because round 2 and maybe round 4 could be debatable. But I thought Edson looked really great despite getting like almost finished, and it was an impressive performance from him. And Sadiq will come back, and I'm kind of curious what happened as to why he fell off so quick, but who knows? That's all I got on it.
All right. Well, personally, I had it as a draw, but that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later. We'll look at some thoughts from Mike. Did you happen to watch the main event this past weekend from the UFC?
I watched clips of it.
What did you think of it?
I thought Barboza's experience showed in his comeback, where he didn't, because he was almost finished in round one, but he was able to fight back. And I think that also shows like a mental toughness, because when it is like a 10-8 in round one, I think a lot of fighters would just kind of like lay down and, get submitted or something in round two. But he won all the rest of the rounds. So that was impressive.
Nice. Yeah, no, his fortitude was tested for sure, but he definitely showed up at the later part of the rounds. After surviving that, I don't even know how you did that, but neither here nor there. Captain, Adriano, your thoughts on the weekend's main event as far as the UFC is concerned?
Do you know when you're having sex and like you're on the cusp of like, orgasming, right? You're hitting, like you're fucking it hard. Like guy, girl, guy, girl. Like you're on the cusp, right? Like right there. And but right before, like just to be more to it, you kind of like preemptively blow your load. That's the entire fight for me. Like so, So like Sadiq Yusuff kind of did that in like the first round. He went ham and like exploded his load all over his ass, fucking him up, and then he was done for the rest of like the next 4 rounds. He never had a chance. Never had a chance, dude. Especially when Anthony Barboza started throwing like those like hooks, those left hand hooks. Dude, those were nasty and vicious. And I know everyone talks about his kicks and stuff, especially from like I think maybe it was second round, third round. They helped me out here, like the spinning hook kick.
That was,
Yeah.
I think, the third.
Yeah, where
Like
he kind of rocked him.
yeah, that was nasty. Like, but that's a symptom of blowing your load too early, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, once you blow your load too early, what happens? Feel good about yourself, then everything else you just feel weak, right? And then you can't block shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the fight, Edson's productivity is striking. Now that it's the UFC numbers, like they went up pretty much after that second round on, and it looks like he basically outstruck him for the last 4 rounds. And I mean, it's not like Sadiq was taking a ton of damage, but like he was steadily getting outstruck throughout the rest of the fight after that first round. So, it
Yeah,
shows.
like
Yeah.
a submissive on like someone who's getting fucked, and then someone who blew their load, and then
It's
put them
such
to
a
work.
such a regressive analogy. Well, we'll move on real quick to our other guest, Connor. Did you happen to get a chance to look at the highlights or anything from this weekend?
So I'm checking it out right now, and
Hey, look at that
no,
live
so
feed
I do
coming
have
through.
I have thoughts a little bit. What I think of when I see this is Edson Barboza is kind of getting to that area of Cerrone or Jim Miller, where he's put together like obviously he's an incredible high level gatekeeper. He's probably got like fucking 20 UFC wins across 2 different divisions, and when he wins, it's not only these, Edom style, like, just murders, but also he ground this out clearly because this round is horrible. This is a 10-8, 10-7, whatever you want to call it. It's a serious deficit, so he deserves a lot of respect. And just seeing that, you see this first round, which is all I got to go on, and Yusuff is in his face. Like the worst thing you can do with Edson Barboza is sort of like stay at distance and let him obviously have his range and start kicking. But if you're, a wrestle boxer and you can stay kind of keeping him beyond the black line and pressure, that's great. But what I'm guessing happened later is the fact that, Yusuff had to do that for 25 minutes, and
Yep.
it just seems like that's a really tall order. This might have been a different fight. I'm assuming if it had been a 3-rounder, this might have turned out a bit differently. That probably would have been your draw right there, for sure. But I'm just impressed that seeing this first round that motherfucker won the fight. That's
It's so
and
true. Yeah.
but yeah, it's more like giving Edson his flowers that he's in that category now of guy that I don't know how many generations of UFC fighters he's mostly beaten. It's kind of remarkable, but
God damn it. No, so my whole thing is like listening to you guys' feedback and whatnot. I'm looking at Edson as a guy who's been here for 13 years and is still facing the best of whatever weight class he's in. When he was in lightweight, he was a perennial contender, never an actual contender, like for the title. Whereas featherweight, he seems to have basically done the same thing. He's losing to guys he shouldn't really, lose to, but he's competitive against everybody in the division. And nights like tonight, I had no idea Edson was going to be, balls out trying to, survive and advance as best as he was, considering how that first dominant round came about. Managed to survive and put on pressure and just keep that consistency on plant and then exchange. Even if he was still getting hit, he stayed composed and still managed to get offensive like moments and still keep his momentum throughout the fight, which is extremely hard to do, especially if you were just nearly deaded in the first round. But again, I guess it shows like what we all said is composure, experience. Sadiq hasn't had that yet. He's a good fighter and he showed it, but he still needs a little bit of that fine tuning for the upper class. It's the same thing that happened to him against Arnold Allen and fortunately now against Barboza. My question is now, who would you guys like to see Edson face next, or either man? Considering this main event was for contendership in this
At
division.
145 too.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is a hard weight class now. It's a terrible weight class if you're trying to actually make a way, considering what's happening at the top.
Bryce Mitchell.
Oh God damn it! I'll start with Conor and then work our way back. Conor, who would you like to see Edson face?
I'd like to see how Edson does against Yadong.
He's a 35er.
Yeah, he's 35. I'm pretty sure.
I just wanted to say Yadong.
God damn it.
But I would, okay, so honestly, I'm looking at the top 15 right now, and Bruce Leroy is a great option. Have they fought before?
I do not believe so.
Chikadze would be a good choice. Emmett is ranked high, but I think the reality of Emmett is he's very old for that division and probably still very great, but like that would be an interesting fight if it, again, these might have happened in the last couple of years. So some stuff I got a blind spot for, but I'm thinking like, whether it's EJ or Caceres. Caceres would, if I don't remember that fight taking place. So Barboza Caceres to me is an interesting fight. Not either one of them is going to be champion, but they're, interesting, and that would make for a stylistically a very entertaining fight.
That's fair. All right, Adriano, how about you? What would you
Cap.
like to see next? Okay, Cap, fine. No, thought we were trying to be personal here, but that's fine.
I mean, everyone knows my name at this point. So like, introduce my name like Adriano, and also Cap. So that's fine with
Cap.
me. Yeah, Bryce
right,
Mitchell, bro. Bryce Mitchell, immediately run it.
He faced him already, and Bryce Mitchell nearly Khabib'd him.
And then you do a rematch.
You still no? I'm just saying, you still want to see that fight for him?
1000%.
You think it plays out differently?
1000%.
Oh
They
wow!
just
Okay.
They just fought last year, March of 20.
Yeah, we understand. Like years for you are like it's like a small thing, but I feel like other people, years are a long time.
No, you know what? That's fair, but I would prefer. I mean, no, that's like they're both coming off of wins against tough opponents. That's fair.
But Bryce is also coming off a loss from the other dude. What's his name?
Ilya Topuria, but
Exactly.
he's coming off of a win against Dan Ige, a hard fought win as that too.
Yeah,
so.
but I'm not high on that Niga though.
Would you say you were high on Sadiq Yusuff?
Yeah, 1000%. Yes.
Okay, so then why would he be fighting backwards?
Who's fighting backwards for who?
Either one. I would think they're kind of like in the same spot now. They're not?
Like it's more like when every time you lose a fight and then you gain a win, you kind of have to like prove yourself against a person who's coming up again. And especially you should give a person a rematch, a person that you beat beforehand because you just lost and just won. Maybe this is my perspective. You feel me?
No, that makes sense. For me, I'm kind of looking at it as like this is the twilight of his career. We don't know if he can get another win and be able to be a contender in this division, considering that
based on the last fight. Do you not think Edson Barboza could not beat Bryce Mitchell?
I would take Bryce Mitchell every day, probably at this point.
I think my only issue, yeah, exactly. That's my whole thing.
Fuck
Is
all
that like
no way?
Well, hold on. The only reason why I would say no is because A, the way he handled him the first time. B, how he handles wrestlers usually, and C, he's a lot older, man, and he's taking a lot more damage. Like if you're gonna give him someone who's favorable in his style, you would say someone like Yair Rodriguez if it was me. But in that case, it's like, yes, it's a younger guy, but he's going to be facing guys who are. Well, hold on. My whole thing is that I don't think that's a favorable matchup for him.
Yes,
so,
but
that's still hard. It's a hard matchup either way, no matter what.
For both people, and
yes.
It's an underestimation of Edson Barboza. I think he has kind of like he's in like the weird Twilight phase where he's like a Jose Aldo coming to 135 ish. You know what I'm saying? Like he's right
No,
there
absolutely, yeah.
on the
Yeah,
cusp.
no, that's fair. Yeah, yeah.
Like if he loses like 2 more times, he's probably done. But I think he's a small window of like rising to the top to go for another title shot. I think he can do it. Personally, I think he can do it.
No. I think that's fair. That's what I'm
And
saying. Like,
I
I would
think
prefer a
if
more
you're gonna do
favorable
it,
matchup for him.
I think if you're gonna do it, you have to go through Bryce Mitchell.
I.e.,
That-
that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, but he has to do it. That's the fight to make. There you go.
Whoa.
Well, Giga might be a more winnable fight in terms of like in that division. I know that seems like I'm not always that high on Chikadze, but that's why I said with the Caceres thing. It's like guys in a similar point in their career, sort of. I mean, maybe Caceres has a little more left. Otherwise, you're looking at guys that are like he's kind of going to be a stepping stone for them, or just a nice win. Whether it's I think Bryce Mitchell or the Lerone Murphy at 15 looks young. I don't know. Maybe that's another guy that would, but it should be kind of fun fights at this point. It would be really hard for him to win 3 or 4, or let's say 3 fights above him in a row and have it line up so that he could get another shot at Volk or whatever, or a shot at Volk.
No, absolutely, that's fair. Yeah, you'd want to have to at least line up a favorable matchup. Not maybe so much favorable that he wins, but a stylistically interesting fight for him. Let me go to Mike and see what your thoughts were, or as far as who you would like to see right now.
Looking at his record, Barboza seems to lose to any top 10 that he fights. So I don't even think he should be facing a ranked opponent. He is 37 years old, and at 145 pounds, that is really old. So I say just give him some fun, low-ranked striker, like some up-and-coming striker, where win or lose, it's going to be a good fight, but not somebody who's going to, not another grappler, because I do feel wrestling is his Achilles heel, and it's just, I was bored by the Bryce Mitchell fight the first time, because I don't want to
No,
see
that's
somebody
fair.
lay on him. So I think a unranked up-and-coming striker would be the best bet.
Who would you say that up and coming striker would be?
I have no idea.
I was gonna say if you had a name, that would be perfect. But no, that's fair because I favor that kind of matchup to begin with because we're looking at him like he's a guy who is, like Cap said, in the twilight of his career. I don't necessarily want to see him get obliterated like he did against either man, but at the same time, I'm thinking like it would be nice to see him kind of get one more win and possibly a title shot. But who you put him against?
He'll make a run.
Sure.
Not at 37 years old. 5
He
years
has
ago,
won. Yes.
5 years ago, he beat Dan Hooker. That would be a rematch. Like if we had to do a rematch, that would be a rematch I'd be interested in.
Yeah, Dan
Yeah,
Hooker
at 55.
Dan Hooker would get murdered.
Well, no. He could fight
By
at
the way.
55 still. He could fight at 55. It's there are interesting fights for him at 55 or 45 if you don't take the title path. If you're just kind of looking.
45 is the way to go. So like the ultimate goal for Edson Barboza is Max Holloway. That's the ultimate goal.
Oh, Jesus.
But Max would pick him apart so bad.
Yeah, but that's the ultimate goal here, right? So
Yeah, actually, that makes sense.
We'll see where it's at, but like that's the ultimate goal for Edson. It's Max Holloway.
That could be trouble at some point for Max too. Max takes some people find a way to get to Max.
If Korean Zombie can get a fight against Max Holloway, Edson fucking Barboza can get a fucking fight against Max Holloway.
That's you know what? Yeah,
he's
that
like
makes
one
sense.
or 2 fights away. And
That's like
and if for some ungodly reason that like Volkanovski beats Islam, that's for an interim title shot, bro.
That's true. Yeah, he's fine. If he gets a win, it doesn't matter who it is. He's in line, I guess, as far as being a name. Okay,
exactly.
No, that
but
makes
there's a whole lot in between there, but Edson's in the mix though. That's all I'm saying. He's in the mix.
Yeah,
Max
that's fair.
Max might want to fight him. I was just going to say Max might, Max's took that Korean fight, Korean zombie fight, and he may want to give a Make-A-Wish to Edson because he probably thought at some he probably thought at some point in his career, if Edson's at 45, I might have to fight him, like.
So wait. So what you're saying is Max Holloway is the Anthony Smith?
He's just,
Oh,
he's
no.
just
That's what you're
Stop.
saying.
No, that is garbage. You know that. That is not no. Max is much
The
better than Anthony
Make-A-Wish.
Smith.
The motherfucker said Make-A-Wish, bro. Like don't ever
Max-
forget
I
that.
have,
The only one that I know
have-
who made multiple Make-A-Wishes and got those fights was Anthony Smith.
I have a question. I have a question for the group. 8 years ago, Tony Ferguson beat Barboza. What do you guys think would happen if they fought today?
Oh, don't you put that evil on me. God damn it.
I mean, Barboza runs over him, right? Obviously.
No, he dropped he dropped Bobby Green in their fight, and then he was beating Michael Chandler. I guess if he doesn't get knocked down, I think he's still competitive. I think it's just the way that he fights. I
But
think
when
he's still no. I don't think Tony wins. I think it's still a tough fight no matter what because of the way he fights.
Yeah, 145.
No,
I made
55 at
155.
55.
55.
Yeah.
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 Then maybe Tony wins. Maybe.
Mm.
Well, Tony would get hurt probably, and he might not go out. So like Tony would be in like when he goes like into power saver mode, like
Yeah.
he doesn't get knocked out, but you're like holy shit, like it's like Homer Simpson shit or something. But
That's so funny. That's fair.
Austin, do you want to take control of this?
Let me take back. Yeah, hold on. Let me get same question to Dave, just because we hadn't had a whole lot from you as of yet.
Oh, Alex Caceres is the only fight to make.
Really? So you and
yeah,
Conor
like,
are
I
both
don't
on the same
care.
page.
Yeah, like I don't care if he does want to fight Max. That's probably never going to happen.
I'm Dave. I'm overprotective about Alex Caceres.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
it's a good matchup. We haven't seen it yet.
But Alex Caceres is like a national treasure, bro.
Yeah,
I'm confused here. What seems to be the love relationship that you have for
Because
this
because
nurturing?
Because if you get,
he's great.
No, he looks brittle as fuck. Like you expect him to die at one point in the octagon, and like
He's not. He's actually pretty
I really,
scrappy. If
I
you
know,
watch his
I
fights.
know,
Yeah.
dude, I know, I got this.
He's
I know.
he's underrated as fuck. I
No,
think.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Dave, don't get me wrong. It's a great fight, Dave. I don't
Mhm.
want, I don't want to see him die. I like him so
You're
much.
more okay. Hold the hell on. You
I'm
said
over-
you don't want to see Caceres die, but yet you're more willing to throw Bryce Mitchell at him.
Yeah,
That's Barboza.
I like one over the other, obviously.
I mean, that's just questionable at best.
No, I mean, fuck Bryce Mitchell. I mean, good shit for Bruce. What the fuck is it, Leroy? Yeah.
No, that's fair. I feel again. So everybody has their own taste. For me personally, a great matchup. If we're gonna talk about Edson A being in title contention or B just a fun fight to watch, Yair Rodriguez, both kickboxers, or I should say, stand-up fighters predominantly, and they like to knock people the fuck out and are known for scraps. That'd be a fun fight to watch.
I'm going with Dave. Sorry, Dave, and I'm going with your shit.
Oh my god, outnumbered. That's fair. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Let's move on to the co-main event just for the sake of time. Did anybody see it? First off, I'll start with Dave. Did you see the fight?
yeah, I saw the fight.
Who
It
fought?
was a fight.
God
It wasn't that great. I thought Maya probably should have won. I think she landed more strikes in round one. I think she looked better in round one, and she didn't get credit for a lot of the stuff that she did in round one. She landed some good front kicks to the face. Landed over twice the amount of strikes that Vivian did. So, and all the judges gave Vivian round one. So, I think she might have been not robbed, but kind of robbed, because I thought round one was clearly hers. And round three
she
was
should have
hers.
at least won. Yeah, this is what you're
So.
saying. Maya should have at least walked
Yeah.
away with that. I thought it was competitive and close, but
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was close and it was hard to determine who, but I think I saw better striking from Jennifer Maya in the first round, but I watched it twice, and the volume supports it, but volume doesn't always matter. But it looked clear to me. Judges said no. I don't think either of them did enough to really argue the case either way. So it is what it is.
No, that's fair. Kat, did you see the co-main event, and what were your thoughts?
I did not. I did, but did not. I was like half watching it because I didn't particularly care for it. So,
What were your thoughts on it, though? Like specifically, like
I
on the
like-
fight.
it was frustrating. It's the best thing I can say. It was just a frustrating thing to watch because Jennifer Maya is better than what she is, and so is Vivian Araujo, and like neither of them showed anything that are anything less of superior. To make me upset.
No, yeah, absolutely. They seem to be kind of not at their
Half-assing
best
this
during
shit.
the. Well, Maya kind of does that from time to time. Araujo just doesn't show up when she's supposed to, and she usually, struggles and gives away the fight at points. But that's fair. It
Yeah,
was
was just
frustrating to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not an entertaining thing to watch. It could have gone either way. Meh.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Let's ask Connor. Connor, did you happen to get highlights or happen to notice or know this was a co-main event?
I totally missed this card. I was out on a date, and when I got home, this whole card really just didn't motivate me to do to like even look for it on MMA.core or anything like that. I'm generally not a fan of Jennifer Maya. I have respect for any fighter, but yeah, these guys are like, it just didn't. It wasn't interesting to me, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
That's fair. That's fair. Well,
You might have to cut that out, Dave.
oh my god. All right. Well, yeah, that's fine.
He's like,
We'll
"No,
move
If I
on.
come back, I promise I'll watch every fight. You know what I'm saying? This was like one of those cards where it's just sometimes they're just like so depressing to watch. But if it's homework, I'll do it.
I'm way more interested in the fight before that one.
No, you're
Which one?
talking. Oh, we'll move on. But my thoughts on the fight, real quick, are Vivian had moments where she was better and showed that she can at least keep up the pace. And even if she wasn't the best striker of the two or the better striker of the two, she showed that she can at least keep up with the grappling sense and showed that she was slightly better at grappling at points. At least keeping up the pace with it as far as like, I'm going to clinch with you against the cage, look for a double leg, and hopefully be able to take you down. If not, look for a trip. I can guess that Maya was the better striker at points when she was pissed, because in that third round, she knew she was losing. I think that was the thing. She literally went out of her way to throw a more aggressive strikes after that first round and the second round dominant of Araujo. Then you're looking at Maya
wait.
basically like,
The first round, she wasn't dominated by Araujo. I mean,
no, I
she
said the
landed
second.
twice.
The second.
Yeah, the second.
Second. Yeah, the second round was pretty much like Maya got caught, never was allowed to get back up. The second round was just pretty much one-sided. The first round was close. You can argue either one. The third round was definitely Maya's. Like it was a thing where it's like you could see Maya as she had put on the pressure early in the first round and then kept it. Still lost the second. She probably wins this fight, but she kind of allowed Araujo's game to kind of play and kind of lost because of it, I think, personally.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
Austin,
not
do you know who I picked
Yes.
for that fight to win?
you did not tell me this, and I will assume based on this is that you picked Maya.
I did not.
Oh wow, you're telling me you picked the person who won.
Exactly.
I did not see this from. I would have figured you'd pick Maya for some reason. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, based on my commentary, obviously. But I feel like
you-
that's the way it was gonna go. It's just annoying. I have a lot
No,
of
yeah.
respect for Maya. I feel like she should have won, but like
She
the fight,
could have. She could have. She had more ability to kind of scramble and had a higher accuracy when it came to the striking. It's just it was frustrating to see her kind of allow the fight to get away from her and then win it back, but too little, too late.
But as Mike said, I think she's old.
I mean, she's like 37. I'm sorry, 36, and then
No,
Viviani is
37.
a little.
I think you're right.
Well, I mean, I think Araujo is actually older than her.
No way.
I'm gonna fact check myself. Give me a
Dave,
second.
pull that up.
Okay, so Araujo's 36, and Maya is oh dear God. No, this is great. It's live. We're doing it live. This is fine. 35.
Wow.
So they are both pretty much at the edge of their peak,
I thought you was
I
like
guess, for this
37.
weight class. No. So they're both on the older edge or older side of this weight class as far as being contenders. And Maya was coming off of 2 decent wins. So now Araujo possibly has a win streak, but it doesn't mean much in this division now that we may have a trilogy in the future for Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko, and then the other 2 contenders are pretty much kind of stalled and may have to fight each other. So this does nothing. I don't think this does a whole lot for Araujo, and it definitely screws over Maya either way. So let's move on to the featured bout of the evening, which was Jonathan Martinez versus Adrian Yanez. I have to say that correctly now because that's what he would like. I'll go with Conor. Did you have a particular that you were looking at as far as a favorite in this fight?
I guess Yanez probably. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see this one, but Yanez is a fighter that I'm interested in. For sure. And so going into this matchup, I just was like thinking, okay, I'm gonna wake up on Sunday and I'm gonna look at the results or late Saturday, and it's gonna be Yanez got to win, and he'll be on to the next thing. That's kind of
Right.
where I was at with that one.
Okay, well, he did lose via leg kick, butchering to Martinez, and him and his actual teammate, Christian Gutierrez, the man that killed my forever love, Frankie Edgar, will never be forgiven or forgotten. Side note, never mind.
Who?
They're both
I love
really.
Gutierrez.
Who?
You son of a bitch.
Chris Gutierrez.
Who?
Oh man, put some respect on that name, dude. Chris
No.
Gutierrez, great fighter.
No, he's never mind. Never. Oh, it's a whole thing. We'll get into that later. So Jonathan Martinez literally butchered Yanez's leg to pieces, and he had no plan B. And when he did, he never assumed that the leg attack would continue. It seemed as though he wasn't prepared for this fight, almost like he wasn't prepared for Rob fight. It was interesting to see Jonathan literally put together this clinic like he did against Cub Swanson almost. That one was actually even closer, which is crazy. But neither here nor there. I'll go to Cap. What did you think of this fight?
You have the same analysis that I have. But for me, it was more depressing to watch than anything else. I didn't want to see him. Like that was just like, ugh, what are you doing, man?
It almost looked like he didn't know how to react to the leg kick. Correct?
He
Like
definitely exactly. He had no idea. It was just depressing. He had better hands, but apparently like didn't know how leg kicks work. Okay.
Yes,
This
is true. It's unfortunate to see, considering how both of them were kind of at the same point in their careers. Like, okay,
yeah.
well,
Well,
contenders looking to bounce into the top 10.
Well, the Gutierrez just beat Rahul Rojas Jr. Right, so it's not really a win. Like for me, it's not really a win because he's like the guy's green as hell. But Yanez knows better. He knows better than that.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
It's very frustrating.
I'll go to Mike real quick.
But hold
Did you
on.
have any? Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were
No,
done.
because like I don't know. Like, shouldn't if he did not know better? Like, shouldn't he have not like? I don't understand why he didn't realize like I have this weakness, therefore
No,
I should
I
show up
think
this weakness.
no. I think what he genuinely thought was looking at the fight. He assumed that the kicking game was present. he assumed that his hands would be better than Martinez's kicking. He was wrong. He assumed that his legs can also take the damage that was being applied to him enough to the point to where he can at least establish a striking game that would counter his kicking game to the point to where he gets the win and the leg damage be damned.
Well,
That was not existent. It was literally, yeah.
No, but we can all agree Yanez is a student of the game. Yeah,
He's not looking like it anymore.
that's the issue. That's why I'm super upset about that fight.
Yes.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go
Just
ahead.
as a disclaimer, I literally I just realized who Jonathan Martinez was, and if I had really like put the face with the name, I would have picked Martinez. That he's a killer.
Yeah, we keep calling. We kept calling him Gucci. I kept calling him Gutierrez, but like, yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, Jonathan Martinez is
Martinez.
and Chris Gutierrez are teammates, and they both have the same kind of fight style where they don't really use their hands as much. It's primarily a kicking game, and it's a very dominant kickboxing game that actually attacks the legs. And they'll use their hands if they have to, but they're predominantly leg kickers. And then they hobble you, wait for you to counter, and then they let you up a little bit on the inside, and then wait for you to come back and then kill your legs again.
Yeah, I think
That's great. Yeah, that's great
yeah,
analysis.
I think I expected more like a pressure of like checking on the inside left and then like kind of right. I think I was more expecting. But I
He
guess
never got to do that. That was the
yeah.
thing. Martinez was ready for it. Yanez was not. That's the
But
sad part.
no, there was no checks.
He did. He just didn't do it enough. And by the time Martinez was committed to the kicking of the lead leg, Yanez couldn't go backwards. He was literally stuck trying to just survive.
Yeah, that fight.
It was already too late.
That shit
Yeah.
just the whole thing just bums me out, bro. It just bums me out.
I know. And it's a learning curve. He's either going to have to adapt or he's not going to be around in the top 10. It is what it is.
I think
It
you're
sucks.
right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'll go to Mike now. Mike, did you see it? And if so, or did you have any idea of how the fight was going to play out?
Yes, leg kick TKOs are one of my absolute favorite things in MMA. And if
You
you
monster.
remember, if you remember, Martinez did the same thing to Cub Swanson, and
Yep.
he is like one of my favorites. As Dave would say, chef's kiss.
Someone fucking shoot me, please.
Oh my god. Hey, that's fair. He already established what he can do, and we saw it against harder opponents. And I think someone had mentioned it. I don't know if it was on here or not. That Yanez's, strength of schedule was not nearly as good as Martinez's strength of schedule, and you could see that in the fact that Yanez was a little bit more willing to get hit and kind of rely on his hand striking, whereas Martinez was a more well-rounded fighter and kind of was more willing to kind of establish a kicking game when he needed to and take the fight away from everybody that he fought. He didn't need to worry about, okay, well, if I, get taken down, I got to adjust. No, he said, I'm taking your leg regardless. And he did that tonight. I'll move on to Dave. Same question.
I think y'all are crazy. I thought the fight kind of went exactly how it was supposed to go. To me, it was a classic matchup of MMA Muay Thai versus MMA boxing, and I think Jonathan Martinez is better at MMA Muay Thai than what's his face is at MMA boxing.
Adrian Yanez.
Adrian Yanez.
So much shade.
Like, I really like Yanez also. So, like, it sucked to watch him lose, but, like, I don't know what y'all expected. Like, that was how that fight was always going to go. People were talking, like, why didn't he prepare for leg kicks and shit like that? Like, that's nonsense. Like, he tried checking kicks. Several kicks, he had the timing down where he moved his leg back and avoided them. Like, Jonathan Martinez is just a really good kicker with really good timing on it. It's fucking not that easy to fucking check every kick and shit. Like, Cruz should know.
Especially if
Cruz
you're
was
facing
fucking
somebody.
bitching at him about it, and Cruz should know himself that it's easier said than done. Like, he went in there prepared to check. He went in there to dodge, and sometimes it worked, most times it didn't. Basically, I can't. You guys pretty much already covered everything, but the fight went kind of exactly how I thought it would go, except I thought there might be more body kicks from Martinez, and I thought it would go longer.
No, Dave. No. So all of us, we all know this, right? The counter to a leg kick, if you're not gonna check it, is what?
To avoid the kick.
No, like
Straight.
straight right hand, right?
Yeah.
Well, it depends what your it depends what your lead hand is.
Yeah, in his case, it would have been a straight right.
Yeah.
So like,
Well,
how many
he
times?
never adjusted his stance though. So if he was, and when he did, he overcommitted and actually got countered on that leg as he was throwing it.
Yeah, but
which he missed.
he never actually threw the straight right, timing the leg kick.
No, he was throwing counters for it, and if he never even bothered to commit to his straight right more often than not. He was more willing to loop his hooks.
Exactly.
It was weird.
Yeah, the straight right is the counter to the leg kick. We all know this.
Again. Well, I think the problem was that he wasn't prepared for the leg kick, and then thus had to change up his game. I think he actually. Well, the whole thing was that he was more prepared for his hand striking. He was. If you looked at his reactions to it, he was not prepared for the amount of damage that he was taking on those.
You mean
That's the fact.
emotional damage, or?
Well, no, physically. Like otherwise, he literally was knocked back off of his leg and was hobbling, and this was all in the first round, and then even in the second round. Like
his knee got fucked. So like, if you, I think maybe around the how many rounds was it? I don't remember. Maybe
it was
3?
only for 2.
Yeah, I think around round 2. Isn't that when I got stopped?
No. It was literally it was a 3-round fight, and he got stopped pretty much almost at the midpoint of the second.
Yeah, so like in round 2, like I think when he stepped on his left foot, like you could see his knee get twerked. It got weird. Yeah, it was a weird thing, too. But he was getting fucked up. Don't get me wrong. Like he was done for.
Oh no, it should have been. If it was me and that's my fighter, I'm throwing in the towel the minute he can't like stop 5 of those kicks.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like he physically got knocked back, not off of a knockdown, but literally because his leg was kicked to shit, and he fell as a result.
But this wasn't my point. My point was what Dave said is different than what I'm saying right now. Like you can check everything, but like he wasn't doing all the things you needed to do to like that reacts. No, but like there's reactions. There's reactions to something that you should be able to react to, right? Straight right. A straight right to every left, every kick.
So then, what would be the reason why he wouldn't have thrown it?
I mean, he's the boxer at some point.
Well,
Danis is the boxer with the timing. It's his whole thing.
No, that's so. Let me say this then between you two. Ideally, if Yanez is gonna counter with the straight right, and he for some reason isn't throwing it, what would be the reason as to him not throwing it? Is it because he's taking a leg kick? Is it because he wasn't prepared? Is it because he's now second guessing his entire game plan because now he thinks I have to adjust differently? And over
Well, I think he didn't have the timing. Like normally, you intercept the leg kick.
Yep.
Like,
okay.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with that. Yes.
Okay.
One thing I want to point out that was particularly nasty is if you notice the first knockdown that he had, he did some ground and pound, and he actually punched on dude's leg twice before he let him up. Like everyone, and he's like actually punching on his leg to fuck it up more. I thought that was pretty nice.
Hey, vindictive is the name of the game.
He hit him with the Stephen A. Smith, bro.
Yeah.
That loop. Yep.
Go up and go hella low.
That's fair. Any thoughts on the fight other than that, Dave? Nothing else though.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on then, real quick. In the interest of time, Dave, Andre Petrosky versus Michelle Pereira. Did you see the fight? And what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw the fight. It went kind of exactly how it was mostly predicted on the podcast. I don't think Podolski was nearly as slow as I kind of expected him to after some of the takes that were on there. But Pierre had good footwork. He was too fast, and it only took one to really sit him down, and that was that.
One giant knee, you mean? But yeah,
Well, one giant punch.
wasn't
Yeah, it
that?
was
Or one
literally.
punch.
Yeah, no, that the knee was a different fight.
Yeah.
The Michelle
I'm-
literally fucking landed a right hand on him, I think, and it was just that was it. He had nothing. It was over.
Yeah, it was
Google-
weird. He went down and kind of like covered up, and the
Yeah,
ground
exactly.
didn't even like hit that much, but he like went
No,
out for some
Petrosky
reason.
literally got hit in the face and said, "No, thank you."
Yeah, I think he pretended to go out actually because like none of it hit, but he like pretended he was sleeping, like the kid that's hiding from their like wanting the parents to know they're still asleep. I think he was doing that. Skits and bits.
That's terrible.
He's probably embarrassed. He's like, I'll just pretend I'm asleep and no one will notice.
I disagree.
God.
I feel like
Oh my God.
I have to look.
Hold on. I'll get to you. I'll get to you soon. Mike, I'll go to you. Did you see the fight and what were your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first I have to say I didn't like um, Pereira walking out with a different flag than his country, but the fight itself was exciting. It was over really quick, and it was a fun fight.
Was that it?
Yes, short and sweet,
Okay.
just like the fight.
That's so fair. That's fair.
So
Yeah,
you're
the flag
Palestine?
thing-
Your team Palestine?
Oh God damn it, Dave.
Dave, not the time.
Inappropriate.
Okay.
That's a different matter, which we won't cover on the podcast, thankfully. But I just thought, looking at the fight, my biggest thing was like, my God, I did not realize how big Michelle Pereira was at this weight class, or could be at this weight class. That was the biggest thing to me. And
Yeah, there was
Trotsky's not a small dude.
There was an interview where he said he cuts 46 pounds to make
Yeah.
170.
Yep. Yeah. That's like Michelle Pereira style. Or I'm sorry, Potan. Mike, yeah, God damn it. That's who fought. That's Potan style of cutting weight. Yeah, that's insane. That's just insane. That's madness. It's madness. Neither here nor there. Cap, your take now, give.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Cause there was like 2 flying knee KOs in the whole thing, right?
No.
No, like not
No.
in the whole fight night. I'm pretty sure there was.
Yeah, no, the one you're thinking of was
DWCS.
that's it. No, it's not that fight. No, this fight literally was a punch
Terrence
that was followed
McKinney
up
was
by
to do with the knee.
Yeah.
Like he hit him with like a
Yes.
punch, but didn't really. But then he grabbed him and he like kneed him and fucking sent him
Yeah,
to the
he
shadows.
literally
That's
grabbed-
one. That's one. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of something else.
Oh yeah. No, actually, I'm thinking DWCS. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I literally just watched Michelle Pereira knock this dude out. So yeah, fair enough. Interesting. Yeah, it all blends, man. I watch too much MMA, dude. What am I gonna
That's fair. What was your take on the
Totally. I hear you.
do? Like the fuck, it all just blends sometimes. The dude's huge. He never should have been at 170. He can maybe go to 205. He's a monster. That's my take.
That's it.
Yeah. Dude,
You know, I am looking
that guy
forward to
was?
seeing him.
That guy's
at
fucking huge,
185.
dude. That guy's fucking huge. How
Like,
you made
he might be able to
170?
get some work done.
How you made 170? It was ridiculous. I have no idea.
Well, it's the Anthony Johnson thing in the Alexander.
Exactly. That
you
dude
know,
was
like-
huge, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be fun to now see him as a middleweight, considering that he just handled Andre Petrosky, who himself was on like a good little win streak. So
Exactly.
it'd be fun to see him now at this weight class where he looks healthy, looks fucking huge, and
That-
actually
that-
looks like he can finish people fairly easily now, which is insane. to think.
185 is fucked. 205 is fucked. I don't know. Like, it's wide open. He has a chance.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Yeah, he can actually become a contender if he follows through on some of these other fights. Who do you put him against, though? Because I have no idea. But that's neither here nor there. I'll ask.
I mean, it
Connor.
depends. Oh.
That's neither here nor there.
Hey, man,
Connor,
you
let me-
can't.
Neither
hold
here
on,
nor there, Cap.
No, yeah, he keeps stealing my. If you keep stealing my catchphrases, bro, I'm gonna have to fucking sue you for them. All
I
right.
feel like I've said this more often than you have, so
Oh,
let me have
fuck
it.
out of here,
I'm
bitch!
just
No
saying.
way!
Who's
No
who's in charge right
way!
now? Who's in charge right now? Who's in
Oh,
charge right
yeah.
now? Thank
I
you.
put you in
Thank you.
charge, bitch.
It's-
You're welcome.
I mean, you say this. Again,
Just kidding.
neither here nor there. Let me have this right now.
I
I got to
swear to
give
God.
Connor.
If you say
Let me
nothing here nor
give.
there one more time,
I'm gonna have to say it probably more often in this fight.
it's my shit.
Yes, I am borrowing it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I just
All
need
right.
some acknowledgement.
Validation is yours. There we go.
That's all I wish for.
Connor,
Yes, sir.
your thoughts on the quick finish?
I actually managed to see it while you guys were talking about it, so that was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, same shit.
I think it's exactly he was who we thought he was against a good opponent, but he looks huge. Seeing him next to Michael Bisping, I know Michael Bisping's like a little bit probably thicker now, but he looks good. But big, really really huge, and I'd like to see him. If Kelvin isn't really going to be able to get down to 70 and he's going to stay at 85, I'd really like to see Kelvin.
Don't put that juju on Kelvin Gastelum, bro.
Also, I got other choices. 15th ranked Anthony Hernandez or Chris Curtis, in the interest of both sides of their last matchup, Kelvin and Curtis. Chris Curtis would be a good matchup, but Roman Dolidze, who's obviously he's ranked 7, but I think Roman versus fucking Michelle would be a crazy fight. But he has to fight somebody. I think you got to start just assuming that operate like he's top 15 probably, hopefully at 85, and then if he proves otherwise then whatever, but just kind of throw him right into the bottom end of the top 15.
Like Santiago Ponzinibbio.
But Santiago's at is he up at 85 now? Santiago's a big welterweight. He looks like an 85 or yes.
No, he's a welterweight for life. He's too small, and he's too old. He's too old by this
You're
point.
too old.
So
No, you got to put him
Cap-
against Gastelum.
no,
right.
why would you?
Oh. No, but no.
No.
Wait, hold up.
I got one last thing.
No, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
No, back to. I'm gonna reinforce what you're saying.
Okay.
Those are some good matchups. I agree with those.
I just wanted to say one other one, which was my sleeper one, which would be I know Izzy is taking time off, but if he wanted like a weird, it would be pressure, but like a weird, just like stay busy fight where he
fight would be the word, yeah.
But it wouldn't be a fucking tune-up at all for Izzy at all.
That is a terrible matchup.
But I'd like to see it.
I agree. In due time. I think you can. If Michelle Pereira actually gets a couple wins in, and the rest of the division kind of plays out the way I'm expecting it to.
Kind of like you, right?
Well,
if you get a couple of wins, you might show up.
Son of a bitch. Just because you're ahead of me on the goddamn picks doesn't mean you're better.
You're the only person ahead of.
I mean, that's fair.
Pop,
bitch. I'm at the bottom, but it doesn't matter. I win the trivia anyway, so it's fine. I'll take that. I have the highest ranked in the overall score. My scores are better than yours. That's fine. Anywho, for me, real quick off of this, I was more disappointed in the fact that Andre was taken out so easily, considering that Petrosky was just kind of like making his way, getting working, finally actually looking like he's a legit middleweight, considering that he was kind of like a letdown on the Ultimate Fighter series, and making his couple appearances that he's had. He hasn't looked amazing by any means. He's actually looked kind of questionable at times. I mean, the fact that he struggled against Jared Mearshart, and Jared Mearshart is kind of like that point of fighter that is the gatekeeper of the top 15. It's kind of weird considering that, this guy was actually on a decent win streak, and then all of a sudden just gets blasted by a guy who was cutting probably more weight than he was to make welterweight. So just disappointing. But Michelle Pereira is in the division now, and it's going to be fun to see him fight. I have no idea who you put him up against, but just put him up against a lower ranked middleweight and let him kill that man, and then we'll see how he looks after that. last thing we'll go, and then we'll kind of like do a general consensus of the rest of the prelims. Anyone see? I'll start again with you, Connor. Did you have a thought or a pick going into the Christian Rodriguez Cameron Simon fight?
No, and this is another example. I think I'm gonna go look at these faces again, but these guys, like Cap said earlier, I really relate to that. It's hard to keep track of all these guys on the roster right now, and I'm a little ashamed of some of this. The guy, what's his name? Simon, right? Not Seaman.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, Seaman is not a terrible pronunciation, but it's along there. Yeah, he's a South African kid. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he could have been in the Navy, I guess.
He may. That would be cool. He could come out in the Navy by YMC, the Village People.
If he doesn't do that, his next fight, that would be disappointing.
But I fully acknowledge that I'm saying this about a guy who could kill me, with literally like tied to a skateboard so he can't use his legs, like just like wheeling himself around on a skateboard that he's like bungeed to. He could murder me.
Yes. Yeah. No. So I'm pretty sure if the Dawkins brothers ever find me, I'm dead. So yeah, you're good, bro.
we have the recordings here that they can use as cannon fodder.
I'm definitely murdered.
Neither here nor there. Cap, your thoughts on the fight?
I'm just sad.
For what reason?
What reason?
I like Simon. And it's just frustrating.
Is it more of a shitty situation considering that this is the second time Christian Rodriguez has missed weight inside the UFC?
Yes. So like I mixed up the first dude from the other dude we talked about earlier. I mixed up Jonathan Martinez with the guy we're talking about now, right?
Is it because you're? Never mind.
Sorry?
Never mind. Never mind. Dave, cut that part out.
Were you gonna say racist or high?
Are you serious right now? No, dude.
Kidding.
No, dude. It's because they're like. I said the other guy from the guy who fought fuck's his name? I just said it a second ago. The guy who fought the guy who fought Yanez. I thought it was the guy who fought Rojas Jr., but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who fought Simon is the guy who fought Rojas Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, so like that's why I picked Simon, because being Rojas Jr. is not a particularly good accolade. But it's also the guy from, I forgot his last fight, but it was very impressive. I forgot who he beat, but it was super impressive. Before Rojas Jr.
Okay, no.
Yeah, so it's I'm particularly frustrated because like these South African fighters should be good.
I mean, one of them is.
Yeah, I know, but like this one in particular, he's 8-0. Like he should have like done more hands, but he was very timid and he looked lethargic, and it didn't sit well with me as I watched that fight.
Sure, he was getting kind of tossed around because he was fighting a featherweight at that point, even though he didn't even look like a real featherweight. But neither here, it's again.
Yeah, I know, but like great fighters overcome the worst circumstances.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
So now it just makes me like hesitant to be like, oh, he's gonna be like a champ or some shit. Now it's more like, oh, he's a good fighter, and we'll see what happens. You feel me?
No, exactly.
It just throws me off.
No, that's fair. Mike, let me go to you. Did you see the fight, and what were your thoughts?
I didn't see this fight or any of the other ones, but I just wanted to say, because so many of these fighters don't even have Wikipedia pages. So to me, that's like the clue to not watch that fight, because it might be exciting, but I don't really care about them. I think it's too early to say anything about Simon because he was 9-0, but every single person he's fought has been like a can. So Yeah, I think it's just too early to make a determination about him or Chris or Rodriguez.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I mean it's early in both of their careers, so at this point you're looking at Chris Christian Rodriguez as a guy who can possibly be something, but again, his only 2 wins are against guys who are, prospects. So I mean, then again, it also doesn't help him that he missed weight. So I mean, it's almost like the win is kind of,
You're a
you know,
prospect and you miss weight.
There's an asterisk next to this win.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Dave, let me ask you the same question. Did you see the fight, and what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw all the fights. It was a decent fight. It kind of went how I expected. Like Mike said, Cameron's win, he was undefeated, but it was against kind of a lot of scrubs. And Christian Rodriguez is kind of similar, but he actually looks like a pretty complete, decent, maybe a decent MMA fighter. Cameron might be there also, but he's not there yet. He looked sloppy at times during the fight, and I kind of almost expected that a little bit. Like he went too much into the spinning strikes in the second round and like almost fell over once because he was going, I don't know if he got dizzy, he was going into it too much. I do think that the weight miss for Christian Rodriguez is a huge problem. I think his next fight should be a featherweight. I think that additional 4 pounds, like it almost looked like he didn't cut that hard. So I don't know what he could have cut down to, but it looked like he did have a strength and size advantage in some positions, and that extra 4 pounds most certainly helped. So his next fight's got to be at 145, and I don't know what the hell's next for Cameron. Just another no name. Get more strength.
No, yeah, I mean
Give him
at this
Roses
point,
Jr. Give him
yeah,
Roses
I'm all,
Jr.
I mean, I'd probably be fair.
Good call, Dave. Good call. I think so too.
Wait, you guys are saying give Seaman to Rojas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, because they're both prospects at this point.
that's a really good call, Dave.
thanks.
Yeah.
All right. So, in the interest of time, let's move on to just a generalization of the prelims. Dave? I'll go back to you. Fight that stood out to you the most on the prelims.
The fight that stood out most to me was Darren Elkins versus T.J. Brown. I thought T.J. Brown was really fun because he looked like a mini Johnny Walker, like almost like just like him. And Darren Elkins, despite being old, he proved that he isn't washed. And there was a lot of really good fun scrambles where they were like all over the place in round one. So it was kind of a fun fight to watch and a good win for an old guy.
Ah, very nice.
I mean, Darren, the damage.
Yeah. No, he's somehow still getting wins. I mean, I don't know if that speaks to the quality of opponent or if the fact that it's just for longevity. Not, good for him though. Good for him. Mike, same question.
No, I didn't even bother watching any highlights because it's just a fight night card, and I don't care that much.
That's fair.
Amen. Amen.
Jesus.
All right, Cap. I'll go to you then.
Same
thing.
thing. I was very it was very surprising. I did not think like Darren Elkins had that in him. TJ Brown was no joke. That was very surprising.
But that just proves the point of like TJ Brown wasn't that guy, and I guess Darren Elkins being the guy that just
I think it's the opposite. I think Darren Elkins has more in him than TJ Brown has regressing. I think you know what I'm saying? It's like when Donald Cerrone like beats somebody like the break Donald Cerrone versus Alexander Hernandez. I think would be a really good like analogy of it. Like Alexander Hernandez has a lot to bring to the table, but just Donald Cerrone just happened to be really good at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the same kind of thing.
No, that's
I
fair.
think TJ just wasn't prepared for his craftiness and scrambles on the ground. Like he looked pretty good and pretty fast on the ground, actually. So
exactly.
Single time, if I can throw an overhand right, kind of like Dan Henderson, I could possibly trip you and take you down to the ground. Not like it's TJ Brown. To me, it's you're looking at TJ Brown as kind of being like, all right, he's kind of decent. He's got a decent, couple of names on his record, but he's not that next level of opponent. Darren Elkins usually.
It's not about that. It's not about next level though. You feel me? It's about
No,
just like growing in the sport as you're doing it.
Yes, but Darren Elkins is that guy who doesn't grow. He's been the same fighter since he started.
Yeah, like Clay Guida, right?
Correct.
Well, no, he's better. I mean, Elkins has that other incredible win over who was an up and coming. It's like a guy who kind of looks like Taporia almost. It was a few years ago. It was a big. Elkins took a beating, and then he came back and won. And it was a guy with a lot of like hype at that point and some good wins. And he can do that. Like if you're like a fast starter, a front runner kind of guy with like flashy skills, and you don't get Elkins out, you better have like all the cardio, because third round he's going to be right there, still going how he was.
I
And if
see what you're
you're,
saying, but
you
let,
know,
let me add. Like, I feel like no one ever prepares for Elkins. Just assume that they're gonna run over them.
But
maybe.
no, yeah, it depends on the matchup, because more often than not, you're trying to. Well, it's the fact that Darren can take, literally by his name given that's to him, is that he could take a lot of damage. So it's not like you're expecting anything different. The difference is that TJ Brown wasn't of that ilk.
Now,
He's not that guy. I'm sorry.
I think Connor, you're the one who just said all that Darren analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually on point.
Yeah. That's
Really
fine.
interesting.
Big counter to me. That's fair. That's fair. Cap, did I ask you if your thoughts on the prelims?
You did.
Other than that, okay, perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't care. I don't care for anything else. Anything else was like.
Connor, I'm assuming it's the same.
No. I got one thing, which would be I did manage to see the Gutierrez fight, and I like him a lot. I think he's maybe it's going to be like in the long run, kind of like an unhealthy, very subjective kind of view of him, the way I maybe felt about like Lando Venata back in the day. But I
You
like
have even that much respect for him?
Well, I like Gutierrez. I like a lot, and I think watching him fight, he's really great with his stance switching. He obviously has great leg kicks. You guys were talking about that earlier, like his training partner buddy. But I think he's kind of, I don't want to call him a dark horse, but I think Gutierrez is in the bantamweight division, like, a legit top 15er. He is 15, and they're interesting matchups. I know he just kind of stands outside in leg kicks, and then I think, Cap, you made the point. It's that chop, 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 and then they start to throw combos, like a little bit more later. I like him. I like, that was a good performance. It was kind of boring, but it was about right,
I'm kind of getting off the Chris Gutierrez train myself. Like, it's getting a little bit boring for me at this point. Like, turn it up, kick a little harder. Like,
I think that's what Jonathan Martinez is. I think he's the more aggressive version of Christian.
Yeah, I think he's the better. Like, he's more powerful, more killer instinct. And if you ask me, they're both mechanical doping with those goddamn ankle wraps and their legs taped up. Like, they're kicking harder because of that shit. Like, they both do it.
Well, they plant right off the plant leg and to get more grip, right? And then
he's literally talking about like how they wrap their legs.
No, that's like have it on the ankle, at which you plant the plant ankle or the plant foot that you rotate over, and then the other leg is literally switching. They're getting more grip as they kick, is what I'm.
No, not the mechanics. It's more like a blocking of like keeping your ankle safe, right, Dave?
Yeah, it helps, believe it or not.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of something different.
Yeah, exactly. I know. You're being ridiculous.
I mean, you're the man who is.
No, it's like a rap. Like there's a good movie for that. Like where your shit is wrapped.
Yeah, it's just funny. They're both teammates. Like, they both do it. They both like throw the nasty kick, and they land with that part of their foot. They tend to land with that instead of like their shin.
I got it. Like D2 Mighty Ducks. You've seen the movie? So like when Adam Banks gets his shit fucked up, like he wraps it, right?
The Mighty Ducks do as a
but
reference.
and like at the very end, he's like, "It's fine. It just hit the wrap."
Yeah.
Did it in my hand. Exactly. You feel me, Dave?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Exactly. Same thing, but with kicks.
That's questionable, but that neither here nor there.
I mean, you ever hit a
Did-
shit rap and kick?
no, I get no. It's a thing. It's a thing. I don't think it's exactly necessarily for that, but again, other commissions may say no to the rep, and at some point they may have to actually face that. In the interest of time,
Yeah.
did anybody else other than myself?
I got a
Wait.
very good question for like the end of the whole thing. Got me?
All right.
Hey, what do we think about this whole Gaza Israel thing?
No, we're not doing. No, we cannot. No. Yeah.
Boo!
Yes, the Luke Thomas boo is actually appropriate in
You
this
bet-
situation.
You definitely you want to watch your mouth if you want to be involved in show business, buddy.
Yes.
Who, me?
Yeah, you better pick the right team.
He
you better,
literally-
you
he
better
literally
suck these balls, bro.
All right. Well, let me close off with this then. The ridiculousness that was Misfits Fox. Yay or nay to the whole YouTuber or just Dylan Danis or however you want to call it, like the whole outside ridiculousness box. Does it still have a place, or are we not? Or we no longer is it? I'll start with Connor on this.
If it had been the backup fight, I think like that might have saved the event. You know, if you had Mike Perry, that was never really going to happen. I don't think. You know, I'll watch Jake Paul fight. Retirement age, smaller MMA fighters, I guess. But as far as like, who are those two fat streamers that fought? Like, I don't want to see.
You shouldn't use the F word. Not cool.
Oh, okay. Two morbidly obese streamers like fought in one of those YouTube events.
I mean, I guess that's more appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's medically correct, but yeah, it's a term.
Oh no.
No, but I'll watch some of the dumb stuff. You know, I don't mind. And we don't. You know, I think we probably all watched Pride. I'm assuming, and you know, it was fun when there was freak show stuff or like a weird, desperate Bellator main event where you get like 50-year-old like somebody versus, or like, you know, you'll get big giants versus Jose Canseco kind of fight. So I
Oh my
don't
god,
mind.
wrap it up, bro. Fuck.
I don't mind.
Jesus.
Cap.
We're closing out, so it's fine. At a bare
Adriano,
minimum,
mind your manners.
Sorry,
God.
excuse me. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Dave is right. Dave is
We're
right.
good.
My bad, Connor.
No, we're good. But you're not wrong. You might be mean, but you're not wrong.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's fine. It's just Dave. You're gonna cut. That, right?
Dude's like, hey, remember World War II? Jesus, dude, come on.
Fine. Let's just go. Let's just cut to the. To the
Connor, Connor knows he's my homie. Relax. We're
I
good
know.
here.
It's all good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Cap. Same question. Does it have a place? Would you have liked a different fight altogether?
The only reason why this would be important to me is because if it's important to Dave. Love you, Dave.
I love you too.
So no. The answer is no.
I don't know if it's important to Dave. We'll find out. Tune in to the next episode.
There it is. Great analysis. Thank you. Much appreciated.
No, seriously, it was. I watched the highlights. It was interesting, annoying, dumb, funny, and a waste of everyone's time.
That's not too bad. Yeah.
All right, that's my answer. Yes.
Yes. Mike. Well, let's go to you. Did you same question? Did you see the ridiculousness that was Misfits Boxing, and did you have an opinion on it?
Yes, I thought the pre-fight, like weigh-ins was more entertaining than the actual fight was. Because I feel like freak show fights only really work if there's like a big KO or a big like a submission or something. When it's just two people that aren't really good at boxing and all they can do is box and nobody has KO power, then it's just boring.
That's fair. Yeah. You're not watching the top quality of fighter
Where's
That's-
where's like the thing that says like dial 1-800 only fights?
I mean, at this point, that's what we're waiting for with these guys. Yeah, it's a weird time in combat sports when you can watch guys who aren't actually talented in the thing actually do the thing and get paid for it.
Yes, sir.
It's weird, but again, watching those kind of things, and it's just if they get money out of it, great for them. I had no interest in it. I don't care for Dylan Danis. The man is actually probably not a good human being, and neither is Logan Paul. But that's I guess that's not the point. The point is that you're gonna watch.
But neither are you. So like, how do you reconcile that?
I'm not bashing women on.
I'm kidding. It's a joke, dude.
Which is a weird thing, but it's again, one person even brought Chris Hansen on stage, but that's another whole thing. Dave, I'm gonna ask.
I don't really care about this YouTuber boxing kind of stuff. I wasn't really interested. If an MMA fighter or someone I like is doing it, I'll probably watch. I do think the ending was kind of shenanigans. I guess Dylan got DQ'd, but to me it looked like he kind of failed on a guillotine attempt. But then Logan tried like ground and pound on him. And then people came in the octagon and Dylan was just started windmilling people, but he was just defending himself. So it should have been like a double DQ or a no contest or something, in my opinion, especially once the ground and pound came.
I think if you're asking me, I think yes. They kind of threw the opportunity away to be competitive, and Logan was just getting to get a payday. I think that was the whole thing. So good for them if they got the money that they got. I hoped it was worth it because neither one of them is probably going to be able to do this kind of thing again. Maybe Logan, Dan is probably not, and unfortunately,
Definitely Logan.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Logan's a pro wrestler, so it's good. It's good for him either way. Danis is probably not going to get anything else other than just subscribers, and again, more backlash as to why he didn't even bother to fight. But
he said the UFC is next.
Well, no, he won't. And that's
he might be on a contract with Bellator, but I think that's going to be up in the air. So UFC's next.
Well, I mean, once that contract ends, we'll see if the
UFC. Well, that brings up a good question. If Dylan comes to the UFC, how high in the featherweight top 15 do you put him? Like 7?
He fought a man who was.
Wait, was that a serious question?
Yeah.
He's not a featherweight though.
I can't with you, Dave. I can't.
No, he'd cut weight for the UFC.
And do what? And cut weight and lose immediately.
Have you seen him fight?
He'd be.
Yeah, I've seen him box. He's getting murdered.
He's smoke and mirrors to set up his secret attack in the UFC.
Oh, okay.
This has all been part of the plan.
Right. Can I ask one question about Dylan Danis?
Yes, go ahead.
What about slap fights? Seriously.
All right, you know what? That's fair.
For Danis.
I'd be interested with that. If we're just gonna see Danis get his face slapped a lot, I'd be okay with it. Why not? I even pay for a subscription. Why not?
No, fuck that. Why not combat jiu-jitsu where he can go back to his roots and he can slap fight?
What about car jitsu? You know about car jitsu where they're strapped into a car together?
Yeah, dude, I love car jitsu. I love that shit.
Yeah, car jitsu.
Dude, just don't win 5 circuits against like what 7 little people. See what happens.
Yeah, no, that's
yes.
All right, so let's close this out. That was the weekend's recap for UFC Apex Edson Barboza versus Sadiq Yusuff. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. Our guests were Cap.
I feel like that should be a thing, like caps recaps.
Possibly in the future. We're not there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Fuck off. That was you. Dickhead. All right, so go ahead, finish it off. Sorry, dude. I'll shut
again. Thank you for our guests and even Uber joining in last minute. Mike, Connor, Cap, and our editor-in-chief, Dave. I have been your host, Austin or No Special. Thank you again to listening to Just Bleed Radio. Please like and subscribe, and please help spread the gospel that is Just Bleed Radio. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the fights.
The hostess with the mostest. All right.
That was terrible, you guys.
Well, hey, I'm
And-
walking around the desert. And I got
And the
guys on
recording, you
speakerphone,
dumb
everyone
fuck.
can hear it.
Jesus Christ, Dave.
Oh no.
Me. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay.
Dave is right. Dave is right.